So now a hurricane's hitting the state that squandered $12 million in federal funding on a culture war battle. DeSantis, Yale and Harvard grad, but somehow not a coastal elite. Man of the people, right? Sure. And before even the first drop of rain fell, he was already on the phone, begging Biden for more federal funding. This comes what, like less than a month after he used $12 million of our money to humiliate and politicize asylum seekers, to traffic them? And Mr. Harvard Yale, he didn't even try to hide that it was all a political stunt.
The problem is we're not seeing mass movements of them into Florida.
I mean, living through Trump, how crazy is it to just see a president release funds immediately without asking for any kind of favors, any quid pro quo, any oppo propaganda in return?
I've approved Florida's request for emergency assistance immediately upon receiving it from the governor when they received it. And I directed my team to surge federal assistance there before the storm hit. FEMA has already deployed 700 personnel to Florida.
There it is, folks. That is the difference between the two parties. One of them gets people in power simply to hold on to power. And as we've seen, they will do anything, literally anything, even if it means toppling the government to hold on to that power. They worship it. I mean, they worship this power, even to the point where they've led even the most wretched people, the lowest of our society, into their base. And the Democrats, sometimes in my opinion to their fault, they're trying to hold on to this old way the Republic worked, reaching across the aisle, which doesn't work anymore because you can't reach across the aisle to a fascist. Biden's not talking about raking leaves or any of that other BS, right?
And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things. And
he's just sending aid, American aid, to an American state, which actually comes from California because we pay more to the federal government than we take. In fact, Florida, for as long as I can remember, has never been solvent as a state. They've always taken more federal money than they put in, and they never plan for disasters. They must not teach economics or budget balancing at Harvard. Governors are supposed to plan for disasters, not create them.
The problem is we're not seeing mass movements of them into Florida.
The last thing we need, the last thing any American needs, is DeSantis getting in as president and using the institutions of the United States government to only push culture war issues and not be able to plan or govern. Because that is, by definition, fascism on a national level. From your Yale, Harvard, coastal elite. Chad the Chud.
it'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually.